Dawasani Vanua, Urangambale, Kenontokai Rokobi, Kamnasani Vanditai, Kamnasani Lotu, Susana Monturana Kataki. The Mami Bavina Mai and Romani Nanravanu of Turangora. That's up my Tegana Gonzalo, Utana Kotamana Vivakalunga, Tagavira Kalamana Naka. Emily. Hello. Several district school, on and out. Saya ikut mak ibu dia beri nonton Vanua. Kamna sani Vanua betul Ra. Bali gona yang gona orang, Bali gona yang gona Bos benar dan bos di kuah, roda di rumah dengan Kristo. Hermana, Entina, Sadira, dengan mula. It is a privilege to be back with you to open the Ra Provincial Council Meeting. I was proud to open the newly sealed Voreqe Road on the drive down to the venue. I remember you asked for the road to be tahsiled at our Talanoa session last year. I promised you it would be done, so this has been. It is another promise I'm proud to see delivered. I do not take our time together today for granted. Due to the global spread of the deadly COVID-19 virus in most parts of the world, a gathering like this would never happen. We'll all be wearing masks every time we went anywhere. Our children would not be in school. Many of us would have said goodbye too soon to loved ones who were lost to the disease, adding to the 1 million lives that have been claimed overseas. We thank God that that is not the reality Fiji lives with. Knowing we could never afford to let what happened in 1918 with the influenza epidemic and in 2020 with the coronavirus, we, your government, acted quickly to close our border. We contained the virus. We did everything possible to keep our people safe, and now they are safe. We have had no cases of the virus among the Fijian public for more than 170 days. I'm sure most of us remember the instant experts who popped up back in March to prey on the anxiety of our people during that time. We remember those would-be leaders stoking fear, warning us of the virus infecting us through trade winds and other made-up madness. Many of those people told us we'd all run out of food and other essentials. I would wager some of those they duped still have a mountain of unused toilet paper stacked somewhere in their homes. Those critics are either very quiet these days, or they've found something new to lie about. Whatever it is, you can be sure they will insist government is to blame. I could spend all day disproving their lies one at a time, but that's not how I want to spend our time together. We can't afford those distractions when there is so much work that must be done. I'd much rather stick with doing what my government does best, listening to your concerns and learning from your experiences. But we won't stop there. We never have. We will also see how and where we can work together to make life better for more of our people. Where we can, we are prepared to deliver new development. We can never promise everything, but what we promise, we always keep. As I've said in Voreqe Bainimarama in Ra Province last year, nearly 5,000 people received social welfare assistance, including senior citizens, expecting mothers, those living with disabilities, and disadvantaged children. Education continued to be free for every student in the province, with another $1.3 million given towards subsidizing transportation to school for students who need it. With strengthened law enforcement, with the recent completion of around $600,000 Namarai police station, which will soon be commissioned. We opened the new Voreqe fire station and the new Voreqe market, which is now a hub of the local economy and second home for the women vendors who travel great distance to sell their goods and produce. We've invested in community security by installing street lights in communities, schools and health centers all along the King's Road. In August, I opened the Sabu and Nosuri crossings worth $7 million and also launched the electrification at Nosuri village worth another $400,000. And the Ministry of Waterways recently spent $1.6 million in desilting the Penang River to prevent flooding during heavy rains. And we're investing in expanding economic opportunity, supporting your agriculture sector and livestock production, including a future-facing focus on aquaculture, with some of your communities opening up to lucrative new opportunities like black pearl farming. So yes, we have indeed delivered on our promises of new roads, police stations and crossings, along with water and energy extensions and other hallmarks of modern life. But as I also said in Voreqe Bainimarama, our greatest promise of all is bigger than any single bit of infrastructure. It is the promise that all Fijians are empowered on an equal basis. In good times and bad, no Fijian will ever be left behind. Today, that precious promise matters more than ever. Because while we may not be suffering a health crisis from COVID-19, the COVID-driven collapse of the world economy is hitting our people hard. This year, we expected nearly 1 million tourists to come to Fiji. and we expected that they would bring wallets with them. We expected them to eat the food our farmers grow. We expected them to go on tours with our guides. We expected them to buy handicrafts. We expected that they would help create and sustain employment for our people. Obviously, that has not happened. As leaders to your communities, you each know the economy and the economic and financial burden our people have borne this year. We all know someone who has lost their job or had their hours cut. We all know someone who is having a difficult time fetching the usual prices when they bring fruits, vegetables, and seafood to market. We all know someone who has moved back to the rural areas to ride out this economic crisis. And we know the strain that has been placed on communities seeking to accommodate them. No matter who we are, where we live, or what we do for a living, all of our lives have been affected. That is not a Fijian problem. It is a global problem, one that stretches from the desks of CEOs of the world's largest, biggest companies to homes in villages across this province. Nearly as quickly as the economic impacts of this pandemic set in, government stepped in to cushion the blow. 1 week after our first case COVID, we launched a COVID-19 response budget to provide assistance to those who had lost their jobs. We build on that assistance in our latest national budget. So far, government has paid out nearly $50 million in direct financial assistance to Fijians whose jobs have been lost or who are on reduced hours. Even those working in tourism who can now get work on the weekends are now able to access the full amounts of unemployment assistance. We will continue to stand in solidarity with those who need our help, however long it takes for this economic storm to abate. As leaders, I ask you to stand with us. Look out for those who are vulnerable, and do not always wait on government to solve every problem. We need everyone's ideas and innovation. We need everyone's courage and creativity. We need every Fijian to act with care towards those who need a helping hand. That is the spirit of resilience which has defined our 50 years of independent history. Together, we have come back from cyclones. We have come back from ethnically charged political upheavals. And we will come back from the coronavirus pandemic as well. As we have so many times said before, I know we will emerge from this crisis stronger than ever. Nabiti sa kanang gangani po saya, chuk sa kanang linim po si Sanora, chuk sa kanang puno uturang ra. May ndola bitso chuk ina ng boss niya sana. Ano nang tutubo mo? Nasa volyo. Kalau wajib na sana. Amen.